So this is Clarissa.
Hi.
And Clarissa graduated from our dental assisting program, and I asked her if she would come in. She just started hygiene school this fall, and I asked her if she would come in to share with you a little bit on how coming to the dental assisting program first helped prep her and get her ready for hygiene school.
Like Ms. Santiago said, my name is Clarissa. Hello. I graduated from this program in 2010, and I actually worked for a year for the doctor that I interned with. So that was really nice. And I started hygiene school this fall, and I want to let you know that this course, I mean, it was amazing. Thank God that I came through it, because they just throw you in and that's it. You have no clue. It's up to you. You're sink or swim basically anywhere else.
What course are you talking about? Sink?
Yeah, I'm just talking about hygiene school in general.
Oh, okay.
I feel bad for the people who didn't have assisting knowledge prior. It's pretty much sink or swim. I guess you really don't value. I send Ms. Santiago thank you note, little email thank you notes all the time, and say the same to Ms. Lovato, Ms. Gonzalez, because they actually take the time to individually help you if you have questions. I mean, over there it is like that, but they have juniors and seniors. So it's, you make appointments to see, your instructors and your professors. It's not exactly the same. So pay attention, read, definitely read, and take advantage of the fact that you are interning, because that is your hands-on experience. And once you do go into the workforce, that is really, ask all the questions to all the assistants that you work for, the doctors as well. They're there to help you, as well as Ms. Santiago, Ms. Lovato, Ms. Gonzalez. They're definitely there to help you. And let me tell you, because once you get thrown into a different academic environment, you realize how good you actually had it when you were here. Yeah. So.
How about the course load? Because I remember one of the big concerns here is that the course load is really heavy. How is it going towards hygiene?
In a semester, it's what, 16?
17.
Hours? It's 16 hours over there.
But as far as chapters and when you have to be prepped and ready for them?
Over there, it's read chapters 27, and that's it. You better read it by the time class starts. They just dump it on you. This is actually very organized, very organized, and it coincides. It's not all over the place. I really feel like over there it's just everywhere. So you have to be on your toes. Here it's it flows together. It all overlaps, and the way the curriculum is set up, it just all goes together. Over here, it's not the same. Well, it's not the same, but it is the same course load. It feels like it's like you have more work to do, but it's just because it's not organized the way that I'm used to, I guess, here. So.
Can you share about the radiology, how the radiology here has helped you with taking radiology?
Radiology class, I felt bad. That's where I felt the worst for the people that had no experience, because they basically gave the written instruments, said put them together, the following class, take your x-rays. Just like that. No demo, no nothing. No mounting. They didn't learn how to mount anything. You better have read and figured out on your own, and if you had any questions, you should have asked them prior. And that's it. Yeah, it's not the same. It's not the same at all. And so, that's why Neha is actually a radiology tutor.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a tutor. She graduated with me as well. She's actually a radiology tutor because we were so, prepared, and we were able to be make sure, where you want the point angle to be, it's going to be your open contact in between for this radiograph. And a lot of people didn't know that. So it's just, it's a lot. And this radiology course, we actually use the same book.
Really?
Yeah, we use the same book. It's just different. I think you guys have 7th edition.
Yeah, and there's a new edition that's out.
Same book. So, I'm really good with
The
that
only
class.
the only thing that's missing from the book when we looked at it, because some of our students have the new book, is it's missing the CD. So the older
Right.
book
The older
is
book.
actually even better
Right.
in my opinion, because it has a CD.
It has a CD.
This book here had one extra chapter, I think,
Yeah.
but that was the only difference in there.
And I have I kept my old radiology book, so I actually have that, and I have my CD. So,
All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, And then I'm going to ask one more question, then I'll open it up to see if anyone else has any questions. As far as, so your first year there, and you mentioned Neha, who graduated with you.
She graduated with me. She's a senior now. She went straight in after general assisting school. She went straight in. I worked a year in.
And I think you've met up, or I think I've mentioned it to you, we have 5 other students. So it's nice to meet other students that have gone through the program there. There's Cassie, Veronica, Neha, Anna.
See who else.
There's you, there's 5, and then Miriam just graduated from Beeville, and then I think Switlana graduated back in 2005, and I think she went through hygiene school as well. So how's that? Did you get to know each other's?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's just like here, this one class, this is who you're going to be with the whole year. Over there, like my junior class that I'm with, those are the same people I will be with for the next 2 years. So it's the same environment. It is set up the same, but it's definitely different.
And I see the pictures that you post, and so I see the Dexters.
Oh yeah, exactly.
How many Dexters do you have?
We have let me show you. Let me just let you know how lucky you have it. Okay. The Typodons that we use, right? The cheeks that you're gonna use, I believe next semester, right? When you pack the cord and all that stuff, right? Those Typodons, I had to buy my own. Yeah. So there was a kit that I automatically had to buy.
Those are pricey.
Yeah. For $400, I had to buy my Typodon, my cheeks, my blood pressure cuff, and a thermometer, stuff like that was in that kit. That's all supplied to you, through this school. So, like I said, you really you don't realize how good you have it until you leave and you're like, wow. It makes a difference. It really does. And the Dexters, so the Typodon, we have a metal Dexter that we practice all of our instrumentation on. And then we have the same, the mannequins, just like you do, except how this radiology, you have your own mannequin. You work with Chucky or Peanut or whoever.
We changed. Those are the kids. Those are the kids.
Yeah,
we haven't put the kids out.
Okay.
We have our male adult mannequins.
You have one mannequin you work with, and that's it. And you're timed, and things like that. And then you go over the X-rays. At our school, it's 2 to a mannequin. So you share, you hurry, you have to develop, and you evaluate yourself. The instructor goes in and just agrees with you or whatever you did wrong. That's it, and that's your grade. I mean, it's not, well, what do you think that you could have done? It's not like that at all.
And how are you doing in your radiology?
In radiology, I'm doing really well. But that's why, because of Mrs. Santiago. That's why I said, thank you so much, because you really don't realize what you had. So it's gone, pretty much. Yeah, and, for the knowledge that you get. And
then a lot of the other things, like with courses like with Miss Lovato, the preventative that you guys did, table clinics.
Right.
What else did she do with you guys at?
Like the oral anatomy, I don't have to take that class, so I got transfer credit for that. So that was less tuition, but I still go and audit it because we will be study on boards, and it's what you know. And actually, we know a lot. I guess you don't realize how much you know, and retained until you're actually in the class and you're like, oh, I got this, I remember.
Okay. So. Any questions from you guys that you may have that maybe Clarissa can give you tips on maybe helping with, continuing tips for the program that you're here?
When you got in, when you're applying, what do they look for? Most of them?
They look for volunteer work. They do look at your grades. They do take into account that you do have prior experience. obviously you want it if you were willing to go through a program before. So they do look at all of that. So I would definitely say, and your letters of recommendation. That's why I said definitely your doctors that you're working with right now, that you're in their offices. Those are probably your solid, letters of recommendation. If you do a really bang up job for them, they're going to say that she's a great student, and because I know that that's what happened for me. My hygienist where I worked at and Dr. Ofinger, they both gave me letters of recommendation. So.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Is the school really as competitive to get into as with the rumors?
It is. There's only
The rumors are?
Yeah, there's only every year. Well, in our class there is 30 students, and that's it. And so they take only 30 a year.
Do you know how many people apply?
I believe this year I heard that it was 122 students.
And there's a cap of 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. It is.
Was your oral anatomy the only class that transferred, and why?
No, oral anatomy did, and so did dental materials.
But not radiology?
But not radiology.
Yeah, we're still working on that.
Yeah. And I'm actually, it's fine because of the practice that you get as well, from the class. So,
To show off your skills.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You get to show off your skills. You're fine.
Are you concerned though? I know that even in dental assisting it's the same repetitive tasks, but it's at least 20 repetitive tasks, whereas hygiene I kind of feel is less.
Same thing over and over again?
Yeah, are you nervous that you're gonna
burn out and be bored?
But can you switch? I know too that money is a huge difference, so the reward's there, but do you feel that
Right now it's exciting because it's new. I'm learning something different, right? So the only thing that does get repetitive is we're actually doing the same instrumentation for 4 hours on your Dexter, and that's what you're doing for 4 hours in there. And that's your clinic time, So that kind of gets, it's tedious, right? It's the same thing over and over again. But by the end of the day, you got it, you know what I mean? You got it down. So, but yeah, I do worry about that. But I'm actually glad that I have been, cross-trained. Maybe I can sneak over somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Do a little something. But
Any questions before we wrap it up on how tips on getting through the dental assisting program?
I do. I try to help people with the mounting. There's people asking me, what tips would you give me? And then also x-rays. I don't know if it was positioning or what tips would you give me?
Definitely with the mounting, I always started, you gotta kind of map it out. And I know you're supposed to start with the anteriors, so you just start with centrals, and then you kind of work from there. And then once you get your bite wings down, just always pay attention to the dexters, any crowns, any their fillings, and that's where you're gonna match, and you'll be faster that way. If you can match the teeth, see what restorations they have going on, and before you know it, you can match.
You were so good.
It's just little tidbits. And then as far as the x-rays go, definitely ask questions. That's what Ms. Santiago is there for, and see, I know, do you let them use the pencil? See where the
to line it up? No.
To line up.
Yeah, but we have the ring instruments with the rod, so the rod is there for
just make sure you just try to precision it properly, and see what you want, what you're aiming for, what open contact you want in each radiograph. And once you have your eye on the prize, that's where you're going to be okay, I need it between the first molar and and the second premolar, and that's what you're aiming for. So.
Okay, last question, Claire?
How long is the hygiene program?
Hygiene program is 2 years. So I'll be going to school fall, spring. I'll have a month off in June. We start in July, and then start again, and then I'll be graduating in May. Yeah.
I have one more
Mhm.
Did you consider any other hygiene schools in the state of Texas?
I actually, I was very fortunate, like I said, to work with Dr. Ofinger. So I only applied to this school because if I didn't get in, I was going to stay there. I mean, it was such a great working environment for me. And I was like, well, if I wasn't, you know, if I don't get in, then I wasn't meant to get in, I can apply again next year. Like, you know, it was kind of like that. It was really sad to go and leave there, but they were very supportive as well. I mean, and he was like, well, if I have a place for you, you have a job when you're done in 2 years, so. Yeah, so it's really nice, really nice. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it's been a great experience. Like, I do love hygiene school, but you really appreciate the knowledge and the education that you get here. And I say that to everybody, even, you know, people that have no experience at all, they're like, how do you know so much? And I'm like, I went to SAC, I went to the dental assisting program. You know, it really does help you. Yeah, and the skills that they teach you here will definitely like help you in the workplace. Like Martha works, I see her every day at the Health Science Center, she works there. So, and she graduated with us, so,
I have a question. Did you find it difficult waiting a year to go to school?
No, because mine just kind of like all, it was like all congealed, like it all went together. So, I mean, as soon as my summer internship finished, I started working, and it kind of just like went from there. And when I did decide that I was going to apply, Dr. Ofinger's like, I'm going to write you a letter of recommendation, and so did Jamie. And fortunately, they both graduated from that school too, so they were alumni as well. And I was, you know, kind of sketchy. I didn't know if I was going to get in or not, but I did, and it kind of just like that, just all like flowed as well. So it's kind of like I feel like I haven't been out of school. It's like a big long internship kind of deal. Yeah. So.
Do you think that being in this program would really give you like a plus for admissions?
I do, yes. And I was also Dr. Ofinger, he would volunteer his time. So I would go with him to Dentistry from the Heart. And they do look at all that volunteer work. And I know that Ms. Santiago, I'm pretty sure, has let you know of the, what is the shelter that?
Haven for Hope.
Right, Haven for Hope. If you do hours, I mean, that they really do look at that as well.
Haven for Hope. And then Clarissa also is on our dental assisting advisory board here. She joined last year, and she also came and volunteered with Dr. Ofinger when we had our clinic, our free exam for our radiology patients. So we'll end on this note, but what do you think about giving them some tips on radiology patients? They need their 5 or their 6. So what do you encourage them to do?
Definitely make sure that you have responsible patients. I was very fortunate, you know, I got close friends of mine, and they were all here on time. I would say have more than 5, like just a backup plan, you know, like 7.
That 2 of them have to have their own doctor, though, because we can only bring...
Right, exactly, but definitely, just make sure you pick responsible people. Make sure that you have friends that you're like, I asked, I'm like, do you get it? And they're like, no, and I'm like, okay. Like, you know, you just make sure that everyone's like comfortable and they're going to be easy patients, not difficult ones, you know? So I was very fortunate. I had easy ones.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much.